Oh, jeez. It's NBA 2K. Yeah, this game's like 21 years old. So it's just me. Alyssa's at work, so it's just gonna be me. I'm gonna do a. Let me see. Everything should be fine as far as this all goes. Yeah. But yeah, I'm just gonna do one match with between the Lakers and. Actually, I think I played the 76ers back in this day and age. Yeah, so I'm playing this game because for a couple of different reasons. But one is because I recently found it and I was like, fuck it, I'll give it a shot. It's been too many years. This is actually like the game that like got me a Dreamcast, I guess, if that's how. Yes, I guess. I mean, yeah. And then also because Father's Day was like I don't know. It was. I think it's actually been like 2 or 3 weeks now. So it's been a while. I didn't have a good way to record Dreamcast games before. Because it was like just the shitty, it wasn't good. Hopefully this is better. It's supposed to be, but I haven't actually looked at it, so I won't be able to look at it until I finish the recording or whatever. But yeah, the reason being like the Father's Day thing is because I actually used to play this game with my dad way back when. Well, I guess in '99. And my dad doesn't really play video games at all. I think he told me growing up he would like play like Galaga and stuff. I guess not growing up. Well, when he came here in the '80s, when he came to the States, he would play Galaga and stuff, and that was really the only video game stuff he did. And then he played some NES when I was out because he bought one. Him and his brother had bought one just because they were like, what is it? But after that, like he was just never. He was never like a video game guy. He's very much like always working and doing like just manual labor type stuff. So I remember we were at what's the name of the store? It was some like Spanish version of like it was like a it wasn't a Sears. It was kind of like an electronics store, but they also had home stuff and couches. I don't know what like the closest thing to it would be, but we were there and the Dreamcast I think had just launched, and he was like, oh, that's cool, right? Because we used to watch like basketball together. That was one of the things, one of like the few things we actually did together. But we would watch basketball games, like NBA on NBC and all that kind of stuff. But we saw this game playing, and then we were like, whoa, and my dad was like, damn, that looks like a real game. I think he thought it was a real game at first. Like he thought it was like an actual like live event that was happening, and then he looked closer and was like, oh no, it's just a video game. But he saw it and he's like, oh, this is cool, right? I was like, yeah, this looks crazy. And he's like, yeah, it looks like he was interested in it, you could tell. But he just made a passing comment like, oh, like this is cool, isn't it? And I was like, yeah, it's pretty cool. He's like, it'd be cool you got one. And I was like, yeah, it would. But you know, the last console I had was like a fucking it was a Genesis, I think, or a Super Nintendo, and that was, you know, this was like almost 10 years later. I don't know why I just shot that. But it was like 10 years later almost, and you know, I had a Game Boy. I had a Game Boy Color. No, wait, no, this was before the Game Boy. Yeah, because I didn't get a Game Boy till like Pokemon Yellow. But anyway, he was like, oh yeah, it'd be cool, right? And then I was like, forgot about it. And then come Christmas, it's like I open a box and the Dreamcast in there, and I was like, what the hell? And he got me this, and he got me Sonic Adventure. And I mean, as you know, as you would assume, I played Sonic Adventure first because I was like, no shit. And then I didn't really like. I played some of this game, but not that much. Every once in a while, like I think a couple days after setting it up, and you know, my dad was like, I think it was the day of Christmas because we would do everything on the 24th. But on the day of Christmas, my dad was like, "Hey, do you wanna play the basketball game?" And I was like, "Okay." And then he just watched me play it because I only had one controller at the time. And you know, it was like cool and all, but I mean, again, I was like a kid who grew up playing like Sonic Genesis, and to see it in 3D, my brain was just like, oh shit, I need to play this. I need to see what all this is. And then this is like the only console that I think my dad was like went all in, because he got me the games, the console. He got me a subscription to the magazine, which is the only video game magazine I ever had. Was that Dreamcast one. And
O'Neal tosses the ball. They pass it outright.
Shit, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so I only had this one, like this one console was like where he went all out, but he didn't buy me a memory card because he didn't know what that was yet, and I didn't really know what it was yet because, like my neighbor had an N64 and that was all still on the cartridge, and my cousin had a PlayStation, a PS1, but he had a memory card already, so it was just kind of there, so we didn't realize what it was or how it worked. It was just kind of in the thing. And then so I just kept replaying the first parts of Sonic over and over and over. And then eventually, we went to a store, or he went to a store somewhere, and he got a second controller, and then he got a memory card. A fun fact about the Dreamcast is that every game has like different blocks that it'll take up different amounts of memory on the memory card, right? So Sonic took, you know, like a normal amount. It wasn't that big. But then this fucking game took like, it had 200 blocks. Sonic took like 20, 30. This game took like 170 or something stupid like that. So if you had it like there was no way to fit both games on one memory card. It was ridiculous. So I never like saved and did like the whole season mode and all that kind of stuff in this game. We would just play. But when we got the second controller, my dad would play with me every once in a while, and he would always play the Lakers because, you know, that's his team. And I would play the 76ers or the Magic, because I think at that time, maybe it was after this, but that's when like Tracy McGrady had joined the Magic. And I remember watching like Shaq in the Magic with Penny Hardaway, and I think Grant Hill. I don't remember. And so yeah, I remember he also got me like a Magic jersey when I was in high school, which was pretty dope. I don't know what happened to it though. So yeah, my dad and I would play this game, and we never really did much stuff together because he and I were just very, very different people.
They kick it outside.
But this was one of the few games that we did play, so that's why when I said like, oh, because it's Father's Day, or it was Father's Day, I guess I'm kind of late on that one. That's why I wanted to play this game. Also, like I just found it, and I think I played 2K19 recently. Well, not recently, but it was like $3 on sale on the PlayStation. So I was like, yeah, whatever. Like I haven't played one since. I played this one. I played 2K1. I played like 2K12. I want to say. It had Jordan on the cover, but it was on the Wii, so it was like very, you know, it didn't feel too much different than this one did, except it was just on a different console. And then I played 2019 2K19 earlier in the year when it was on sale, and it was like fine, and like they added more advanced maneuvers, I guess. You can do a lot more kind of stuff, and they had like a whole career mode and fucking be a GM and create your own character and RPG mode or whatever. But I don't know. It was okay. Like it lost. Like this one feels more arcadey, more Sega. And then I found it and I put it in yesterday, and I was like, oh, this game is still pretty fun. And I was thinking of doing this with Alyssa, but I was like, she played basketball in like middle school and high school, but she never really, I think her and her dad watched like college basketball more than the NBA, so I was like, yeah, she's not gonna care. But yeah, this game, and I don't want it, like, it sounds weird when it's like, my dad and I used to play this. Like, he's alive, he's not like dead or anything. He's at the house. But it was just like, again, we didn't have a lot in common. I'm the middle child, so it was weird because they were like, what do we do with him? I don't know. It was always my older sister was being a doofus, or my little sister was born, and then they had other things to worry about. So like my dad and I like legit did nothing. And this was one of the few things. I think even like when I got 2K1, because one of my Dreamcast broke. I think because we played it too much or something. So so I got another one when they had dropped the price on it slightly, but it came with NBA 2K1, World Baseball 2K1, and then NFL 2K1. I think I tried playing NFL 2K1, and it was, I don't understand football at all. Like, it just doesn't click in my head. So I didn't know what was going on. And then the baseball one was like, whatever. But the NBA 2K1, I remember playing that with my cousin as well. But not Alexis, who I would play most video games with, but actually Erwin, who was like he didn't really play anything. He would once in a while just because we would do it, but he was never super into it. But for some reason, he was always into, he always liked playing shooters and like Medal of Honor and stuff. But then also he would once, like every once in a while, we'd play NBA 2K1, which I think I remember more of, because I think I ended up playing 2K1 more than 2K. Because like I said, when I got this one, like it was like I would play it every once in a while, but it was really rare. Like I didn't. It was usually just like, oh well, father wants to play, or you know, I'm bored, so I guess I'll play it for a little bit. But when 2K1 came out, that's when I played it, like, because I actually liked it. There was only like one other basketball game I had before this. It was Hoops on the NES, which is fantastic. And then I remember playing, like, we didn't have NBA Jam, but my friend had he had College Slam, which was like a bootleg version of NBA Jam. Damn, I'm getting my ass kicked.
He's got the knowledge to keep him out of the paint, but once the rock gets inside, what I see is a major size disadvantage. He'll get run all over unless he gets low.
Yeah, I'm not gonna win. Wait, no, I'm winning. Wow. I thought I was I'm tripping. There's other cool shit you can do, like crossovers and stuff, but I think I'm more focused on talking. But what was I saying? Yeah, NBA 2K. I don't really know. I don't really know what else to say about this game. It doesn't look bad by, like, you know, it being 1999. Like, it really doesn't look bad at all. At some point, they, like, it wasn't Sega anymore. Like, it wasn't Sega Sports. It became just, like, 2K Sports, and then someone bought them, and someone bought them, and, you know, it turned into the whole thing. But back when this came out, it was just... Because I think, what was it? Like, so none of the companies wanted to work with Sega because because Sega made a lot of mistakes with their last consoles. So the companies were just like, yeah, we don't really want to support your console because you're gonna flip flop on us, and you're not actually gonna support it. You're gonna like ruin it 2 years in. And then, so Sega was like, well, shit, we should probably make our own sports games that we can't get anyone to actually help us. So that's what they did. They just made their own fucking basketball game, and it ended up being better than the one they were trying to get. And then it just kept going and going until eventually, like, this turned into like NBA 2K as like the only basketball game that like matters anymore. I know there's a way, like when I don't know if it's only 2 players or how it works, but when you're the home team and when you're the home team and you have your opponents trying to make a basket, you can mash the buttons or something, and you can actually make them pull out like signs and stuff to distract you. I mean, it doesn't really do anything, but I just thought it was hilarious watching my dad like mash the buttons to make them like wiggle their like the like banners and their little floaty sticks and stuff.
Fisher at the controls, he's setting up the offense. Snow.
Oh, damn it.
Up. That's what to do, D. Fisher.
But yeah, I mean, what other interesting stories do I have about? I mean, yeah, like most of my memories of this game are like my dad and I playing whenever he had like a chance, because he was like, because he was always working.
And 6 turnovers so far for them.
But yeah, it was this game. I think I also remember it so much because it was like in that weird, like, oh, I'm gonna enter middle school and then into high school. And, it's always like the weirdest time for people. Well, at least I think it is.
They pass it inside.
Plus, I was also like a year or a year and a half younger than a lot of the people that I went to school with. That's the first fucking replay. Yeah, I was a year younger than or like a year and a half younger than everyone because of some kind of something. So it was extra weird because everyone was like, "Oh, look, I'm hitting puberty and I'm in whatever grade," and I'm like, I don't have any of that yet. So yeah, this game sticks out as a like, oh yeah, this was right before things got all out of whack. Because yeah, 99. Yeah, what, my sister was 1. So it wasn't as big a, like, she was just there, you know, she wasn't really doing anything yet. So it was still just like, oh, it's just normal life, except now they're paying attention to this little child. But yeah, like soon thereafter, you know, like, because yeah, then that's when like middle school and high school was happening, and then that's when like shit just all over the world started changing, and like 9/11 happened, and you know, everything was different after that. Gee, damn it. Yeah, everything was different after that, and then like I remember we went to Guatemala, and it was the last time I went, and then like my uncle died, and then I think like a couple years later my grandparents passed away, and like my parents stopped going as much, and we didn't get my grandma coming over anymore because, you know, she passed away, because she would come like once, like every year or twice a year or something like that. And then like Janet got older, and I was in high school, and I don't know what the fuck I was doing, dropping out. Yeah, weird times, but right before all that happened, right before it all went to shit, I grew my hair out and turned into an emo boy. There was just random memories of playing this and watching the NBA finals, and oh yeah, like I just remembered we used to get the LA Times at the time because newspapers were still relevant. And I remember the friggin' playoff stuff because this was when the Lakers were beginning their three-peat. Like the full page spreads that they would get on like every time there was a game or even leading up to the game, like ridiculous like paintings and like super in-depth everything about like all the players and just fucking charts on charts on charts.
O'Neal dishes the ball.
I remember all that happening. And then like I think it was like Lakers Kings or something where it was like controversial. And then yeah, just a different time. Just a very different time. And yep. Just when you think things can't change anymore, then more shit starts happening, and now we're in the middle of the Rona. And the world changes again. But yeah, I don't remember much about like who played on what team and you know who was the best at this or who even was in like the playoffs and stuff. Like I don't remember any of that stuff. My brain has very limited space for like a lot of things, and
that's it for the quarter, and at the end of the third it's
21-28, 63. Okay. So I should have around 80 points when this is over. Yeah, I'm just gonna start shooting from far away.
Geiger. It's good, and they've been out shooting their opposition pretty handily.
What else? I'm trying to think of other things about this game or just NBA in general. Oh yeah, what else? This is like it was fuck, I don't remember what year it was, but they like got rid of NBA on NBC, and it was not as good anymore because NBA on NBC would do these freaking like anytime, even if it was like not even like a big game, maybe sometimes it would just be like, you know, Pistons at Charlotte Hornets or whatever, and it's like they don't have any beef, they're just kind of playing a game. But the intros would be ridiculous. Like I remember, there's one on YouTube still of like when the Bulls played the Knicks, and the Knicks had won the last game or something in the last season, but because Jordan was out or some kind of shit, I don't remember. And then Jordan is like back, and then they play like Enter Sandman by Metallica in the intro. And then they're just like, one, it's a team who hasn't been able to win. The other, a team searching for revenge. and meanwhile, it's just like, it's great, man. Like they used to play those things up like crazy. And then they had that dope ass theme song. Like they had it down. Okay, all right. Good job, guys. Yeah, and then you know, like they lost the thing, and then the Lakers moved to the Staples Center. What else? Fucking, I don't know what else was going on, but yeah, it was just. I think around this time was when like just everything felt like it was changing. Like everything that had been the same forever just started changing. Oh god, I need to stop throwing those. I know there's a way to do alley-oops, but I remember it was in the manual, and I don't have the manual anymore. Or it might, actually, you know what? It might be back in LA. It's probably in a box somewhere. But yeah, you can do alley-oops, and yeah, there you go. You can set up plays, and yeah, I don't know how any of that shit works. I just want to play some basketball. Yeah, they're gonna give Allen Iverson the player of the game, the Sega player of the game. I wonder. I remember playing 2K2 a little bit, But that's the first. I think it's the first one that they released on like PS2
gives up the ball.
and like GameCube and Xbox and stuff. So,
He knows it too, Bob. He's asking for the ball every time he goes down court.
but I think that might have been the one where they started doing like it was big enough to where Sega was like, okay, we're gonna get some like sponsors and stuff, and they started putting like other crap in the game. Because now supposedly I haven't seen it, but NBA 2K20 is free on PlayStation Network this month. And I was reading reviews, well, not reviews, but like people on Reddit were talking about it, and they're like, yeah, we're not very happy that this game is coming out because it's full of microtransactions and it's like lost the spirit, or I don't know, some kind of shit. Like the developers are greedy or blah 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, fucking whatever. And then I was reading more about like what they say, and they're like, yeah, there's like a dialogue choice because the career mode is like basically an RPG for of basketball, where you have like stats and you have to perform certain things, and you have like visual novel elements where you actually have to talk to people and your choices matter, just shit like that. But damn it. But there's like a choice where it's like, what do you like most about these Beats headphones? And like that's the kind of shit like that, you know. Like that's how that goes to show like how big the franchise got, but also like how much it's not this anymore. Like this was just like them being like, hey, we need a basketball game, so we're just gonna make our own, and you know. Whereas now it's like a whole, you know, they have like, I remember one of them was like maybe 2013 or 14, where it was like, because I still read about it, even though I wasn't playing them because I didn't have consoles that played these games, and also I was just kind of like, but there was like the Jay-Z Master Edition or something in like 2013 that had like, with the soundtrack curated by Jay-Z. It was like, okay, all right, well, I guess that's kind of cool. And then they would come out with like, this is the anniversary edition, and it has like whoever on it. And then like, this is the Legend edition, and then this is the Super Legend edition. And it was just like, oh my god, like fucking, like this one has a story by like Spike Lee, and this one has, you know. And I was just like, oh my god, like this is getting ridiculous. But yeah, in the beginning, it was just Sega being like, hey, we need a game for a console because we don't have any sports games. Because EA is not going to give us their Madden and is Madden still? Yeah, I think Madden's still a thing. I think that's the football game now. But for a while, I think they got like a thing where in their contract it says like no one can make football games with real players except the Madden games or something. No, I want one final shot. Something like that. So that's why like NFL 2K like died. Oh, here we go. Oh, damn it! I wanted to believe.
That's the horn, and this one is in the books. 78-67.
But yeah, this is NBA 2K, the first one, 1999, on the Dreamcast. I hope the capture quality came out good because I bought like a whole different thing just to get it to go, and I really hope it looks better than when I used like RCA to HDMI converter, because that thing was hot garbage. Yeah, I don't know. I actually thought I was gonna have more to say about this game than I originally thought, and I didn't. So I probably should have made the quarters only 3 minutes instead of 5. But fuck it. That's it for NBA 2K 0. Yeah, I was gonna call it 2K1, but that's the thing.